Hello and welcome to another edition of Getting to Know Your G Suite and Gmail. So today we're going to go and walk through the anatomy of your inbox or the anatomy of Gmail. What I mean by that, I'm going to walk through each section, show you a couple things that you may or may not know, a few adjustments, and just overall what I'm calling the anatomy of your inbox. So with that said, we're going to stay on the basic side. Hopefully keep this again within 5 to 8 minutes. And then our next segment, we'll talk more about advanced features and go more into the settings of the inbox. So yesterday we talked a little bit about composing an email, sending an email, and a little bit about your folders over here on the left-hand side. We're going to expand a bit more on that overall and altogether. So I think a great place to start is on the left-hand side. We talked yesterday about composing email. You can refer back on this channel and take a look at that if you're looking at how can I compose email, how can I format those emails, how can I attach something, how can I attach something through Drive. A lot of good tips and tricks in there, as well as just an overall general view of how to compose and send emails. So on the left-hand side, we have this menu here, and it's going to contain a couple different things. It's going to contain your inbox. So what that means is just your inbox in terms of on your right here, and that's just any mail that's come into your inbox. So people sending you email will come in here. You can also notice if I drop down these arrows, remember in Google, they're really big fans of these arrows. So no matter where you're at, you can see it drops down and gives you more either a dialog box or just some more features. So again, you can go here. This is a bit more of advanced. I recommend if you're new to this just to keep these settings as default, but feel free to walk through these and hover over these. Again, I'll mention anything in Google you hover over, it's going to give you just a little hint as to what it does. So some people like to use important first, for example, and that's basically, again, Google using its artificial intelligence to recognize who are the most important people that you email, and that will push it to the top of your inbox. Unread first is pretty self-explanatory. Starred, priority, and multiple inbox are things we'll get into a bit more in the advanced features. But for now, I would recommend, just ignoring this if you're a new user and not worrying about using that drop down and leaving it as default. And what default means is just this is going to stay in a chronological order. So if someone emails you and then a minute later they email you, the person that emailed you the last one would be the one on top or threaded, as we mentioned yesterday. Starred, again, you have the ability to star emails, and I use this quite a bit. In my own personal life and in my business life, just to denote something important that I need to pay attention to. So again, you can star messages, and if you hit this, it's going to bring up just the starred, right? So I actually have 2 starred. This is just filed away, which we'll talk about in a little bit as well. Snoozed, again, this is going to show the snoozed email. If you remember yesterday, if you hover over here, you can see the snooze button, and that basically means I can hit this and I can say deliver this later. So if I see it come into my inbox and I want to keep things clean, I know it's not urgent, I may want to have it re-delivered tomorrow. So it would take it out of my inbox it's not really taking it out, it's hiding it or snoozing it, and it will come back in your inbox depending on when you pick that date. So that's there. Sent emails we talked about. Again, this is just everything that you've sent. Drafts we talked about as well. Again, if you type an email and you walk away or you hit inbox or whatever and you can't find it, it's probably in your draft folder. Now the rest of these are going to be our folders and files. Actually, they call them labels in Google. And these are things that I've created so that I can, file things out of my inbox view and over into files. Again, I'm going to have a whole other section coming up on settings, advanced features of the inbox. But we'll also do a whole video and tutorial on how to manage these folders, create folders, and create labels. I should use the right vernacular. Google likes to call them labels, but they act like folders. The only difference is that you can have multiple labels on a message. So typically in folders, if I put this in, Cody, I can't have it anywhere else, but you can actually, Google allows you to apply another label. So it could be in Cody, it could be in files as well. We will get more into that as we move forward down this course. Again, we talked about these things, again, important. That's more of the Google algorithm that you'll see this. It turns yellow in your inbox because Google's basically saying, hey, we know you email this person a lot. And you can select this and it's going to show you some of what Google has figured out is your important things. Chats, again, this is just going to show the chats, which is down below. If you guys use chats, it's instant messaging program. We use it a lot in our company, but again, this is just going to keep a catalog of your chats and your scheduled emails, as we talked about before. Now, all mail is interesting, so you'll notice here I have a lot of the mail here. Now, a lot of this mail has been what we call archived, and what I mean by that, and this is something that I want you guys to pay attention to because it's very important. We have the inbox. If I get a message in here and it goes to my inbox, I'm going to see it. But some people like to keep a very clean inbox. So what I can do is select this and come up here and hit archive. Now, we didn't go over this too much, but when you select a message in your inbox, you have a couple different things you can do. We talked about reporting spam. You can archive it. You can trash it. Mark is unread. So if you notice here in the inbox, it's a lighter color. That means it's been read or I've opened it. If I said, oh, I didn't mean to do that, I can actually mark it as unread, and you'll see it's gonna turn it back to bold. And once I open it up and read it, come back to my inbox, it is no longer that way. So if I put a check mark, and I can do this to multiple emails. If I had multiple emails, I could throw them all away, mark them all as spam. We talked about snooze, move to a folder. You can drag and drop, or you can actually select this and move it to folders, or you can labels as well. So you can label it, and again, it's the same kind of deal. I can move it to actually, this is moving it to a couple different things, but focus on just labels or folders, and this does the exact same thing. And then, of course, we have more. So you can remove star. We'll talk about filters, but again, I think your main priority here is going to be marking spam when it's relevant, trashing things, and then also archiving things. And what I mean by that is taking it out of this inbox view. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to select that and I'm going to hit archive. So now if I hit my inbox, it looks empty. So where did it go? How can I find it? Well, I can always use the search button, right? You can always type in here and do, oh, I know it was named test, right? So if I hit test, it's going to bring up all of these emails. And all these emails are not deleted. They're actually in my all mail, or what we call our archive. So if we go back to our inbox, absolutely empty, right? Because I archived that. But where does that go? So your archive, and this is where it kind of comes back together, is here in all mail. So if I go to all mail, you're going to be able to see all the mail that you've archived prior, right? So in my last video, we did a couple of these. This is the one we just did, that we just archived. Now, let's say you put it in all mail and you wanted to move it back to your inbox. Well, that's where we come over here and say move to inbox. Remember, hovering over this stuff, great resource, and that's going to say conversation move to inbox. You can undo it, but we'll go ahead, and we want that to show back here. So if you're missing an email, the point is it might be in your all mail. If you want to keep a clean inbox and archive stuff, just get it out of your inbox view, but you want to save it for historical purposes, go ahead and hit archive, and that's going to move it into this all mail folder. I talked about spam and trash, no real need to go there, but we do have a spam thing. If it's not spam, collect it, hit it. I can delete it forever, or I can hit not spam, and that's going to push it back into my inbox and not filter these from Togglebox. I don't even know who that is, out. So if it's not spam, put it there. A lot of different things you can do, again, hovering. The rest of the stuff is manage labels and create new labels. So really quickly, it's simple. You can create a label, you can nest it under another label. So these are those folders that would be up here, or labels. So this is a very easy way to create labels, but we're going to do a whole video on the advanced features about creating folders, automatically filtering emails that come in to the box, filtering them into the labels. So we'll do a lot of that. And down below, you'll see here is, of course, this account is named Hello. So this is our demo account. We just have our coworker of mine, Cody, here, and basically I can open this up and we can chat back and forth. So I can type information, I could send him a file, I could drop in a photo here. So we use this a lot internal to our organization, and chatting back and forth with each other. So this would be on your left-hand side, and basically instant messaging. I don't know if you guys use this a lot. Some other people watching this on the internet may use it. Really great feature, just really simple instant messaging. You can actually call someone and make a video call or a voice call here, and you can also add in people to this hangout. So it could be Cody and Sean, for instance, another one of my texts. I could add in here and you could have a group chat. So think of this kind of like text messaging, but also think of it as you can do voice and video as well. All right, so what did I miss here? Working across, I wanted to talk a little bit about the views here, and then we'll probably wrap it up. So there's a couple different things. If I go back to my inbox, depending on how you want to situate your inbox, there's a couple things that may resonate with you, and that's over here. Now, this is called split pane view. So there's no split, and this is just linear. If I want to see something, I open it up and I walk through it in this case, right? Now, that's basically what you probably see by default. But one of the cool features that we also have something called a vertical split. And what that means, and I can move this, you see how this arrow appears? So I can move how big I want. So this looks more like Outlook. So Outlook uses this technology, but basically what it does is if I select this and I'd have multiple messages, I could see a preview pane on the right-hand side. So a lot of people like that viewpoint. And again, you just toggle that on right here. And you can do a vertical split, or you can do no split, or you can hit this and do a horizontal split. And what that means is it's down below. So I might have my inbox here, but when I hover over, it's going to bring the message down below. So that's a really good pro tip that I like to share with people. I'm so used to no split. Now in my main box, I have something called multiple inbox, which we'll get into in a more advanced lecture. But again, just know that you have the ability to do this. Now, some people like to ask me, what's this stuff up here? Now, what Google's going to do with this is it's going to filter in your so it's going to add some intelligence to filter out things. So basically, it's going to know this. If it comes from a social network, it's going to put it in this tab. Now, a lot of people like these tabs. I don't typically use it. I just like everything to come into one box. So you can turn these off, and you'll notice when you go here, you can go to inbox settings, and you can click these on or off. And again, once you hover over them, you can say, okay, well, what's promotions? And these is going to Google's going to know it's deals and offers, updates, personal auto-generated updates, receipts, billings, forums. So again, all these things you can actually do. So I could hit that promotions, hit OK, and you'll notice here, obviously I don't have any social promotion offers, but it's just again a way to further organize your inbox. Me personally, nothing wrong if you don't. If you want to use these, but for me, I typically like to click them off and only have my primary, so it takes those away. But again, nothing wrong if you want to keep those around and deploy them on your own. Lastly, again, not really anatomy of Gmail, but you'll notice on this side, these are just little quick apps. We'll get into these, but this is how you could get to your calendaring or to your notes, right? Also, I call this the tic-tac-toe box. Again, this is going to be your account information, what's your name, and a Gmail, which is what we're in, Drive, Docs, Sheets, Slides. So we'll get into this mainly calendar and Drive for you guys. But yes, this is the anatomy of Gmail and the anatomy of inbox. I hope this helps filter through some of your questions. And again, if you have any questions about this or you need anything explained further, leave a comment down below in YouTube and I'll be sure to answer it. Again, I'm Mike Vanderpool with Valley Apps. I appreciate you watching. Have a good one.